Alright, what's up guys? Let me start off by saying that I love Hunter x Hunter, and one of the biggest reasons why is because of the fact that it has one of, if not the best, power system in all of anime, which is Nen. However, there is a problem with Nen, and that is the fact that sometimes it is just so confusing. If you're having trouble remembering like what exactly each type of Nen does, then don't worry, because in this video I will break down and explain every single Nen type, and I'll use examples of their users. I'll explain how their water divinity works, which is the test to see what kind of Nen user you are, and I'll give some cool extra facts about each of them. I guarantee you will come out with something that you didn't know before from this video, so stay tuned. Just letting you guys know though, that this will not cover stuff like Zetsu and like all that other weird stuff. It's only about the main Nen type. So like specialists, transmuters, manipulators, those kind of things. So now let's get into the video. Alright, first we got the most simple type of Nen user in my opinion, which is enhancers. And enhancers are able to enhance the strength of themselves and sometimes other objects in some type of way. So Gon himself is an enhancer, which we can see with his enhanced power and his brute strength, rock, paper, scissors, punch. We also got Guido, who was that weird looking guy from Heaven's Arena, but he would enhance the rotational power of himself to make himself spin quickly and be able to defend against like physical attacks because of how fast he was spinning. Real quick, I'm gonna give you guys a quick recap of what water divination exactly is. So basically it is the way that Nen users test what type of Nen they are best at, and they do this by producing aura with their hands around a cup, and it's filled with water and it has a leaf floating on it. So for an enhancer, the water will start to overflow and the quantity of water will increase. And a cool bonus thing is that according to Hisoka, enhancers are simple and determined people. Alright, next we have emitters, and emitters are Nen users that shoot out or project their Nen in some type of way. They're usually for like more long range type fighting styles. So examples of emitters are Pakal, who was able to shoot different Nen arrows with his bow, and Leorio is also an emitter, and we saw his emission technique in that famous scene when he emitted his punch across the room to punch Jing. So if the color of water changes in the water divination test, then that person is an emitter. Also, for Hisoka's personality analysis, he says that emitters are impatient and not detail oriented. So next we have conjurers, and conjurers are able to materialize and create objects out of Nen. So Kite is a cool example of a conjurer who conjures different weapons depending on what role he gets. And we have seen someone conjure an entire human with Castro, who was a character in Heaven's Arena that fought Hisoka. And he was able to conjure a Nen doppelganger to help him fight, but his existence was actually a bit of a cautionary tale regarding Nen users. Despite the fact that he did such advanced conjuring, he was actually an enhancer who originally focused on strengthening himself to use Tiger Bite Fist fighting style. However, he was stupid, so he focused on this conjuring a doppelganger idea, even though conjuring is far away from enhancing on the Nen chart. This means that conjuring is hard for enhancers to use, which caused Castro to waste his potential because of his focus on something he was not made for. It's possible to do good at Nen types that are right next to yours, but to try and master a Nen type that is far away from your own type on the chart is a big no-no in Hunter x Hunter. Alright, back to conjurers though. They will create impurities in the water when taking the water divination test. Also, according to Hisoka, conjurers are very high-strung people. Alright, real quick, I'm shouting out random people in the comments every video, so shout out to Wasabi Peanut for this video. Yay, Wasabi Peanut, yay. Alright, back to the video. So next, we have transmuters, who are able to change the quality of their Nen. And this one sounds a bit weird, but with some examples, transmuters start to make a lot of sense. So a good example of a transmuter is Killua, who changes the quality of Nen to make it electric, which he uses to electrify people and then even charge up his body and speed with the Godspeed tactic in some like crazy way. Another example is Hisoka, who transmutes his Nen into Nen that will have the property of both rubber and gum. By making his Nen elastic, he can make it stick to things, catch things, and slingshot objects such as his signature cards towards people. In the water divination test, a transmuter will cause the taste of the water to change in some type of way. Also, according to Hisoka, who is a transmuter himself, transmuters are often liars and whimsical people. So next, we got the last of the simpler Nen types, which is manipulators. And as the name suggests, manipulators are able to manipulate and control objects and even people. So Shalnark, the Phantom Troop member, is a great example of a manipulator with his ability to literally manipulate and control people once he stabs them with a pin type thing. Illumi is also similar with his needles that he uses to gain control of people and manipulate them into doing like certain things. When taking the water divination test, a manipulator will cause the leaf that is floating on the water in the cup to move around, which makes sense because they're kind of like manipulating the leaf itself. But according to Hisoka, manipulators are logical people who like to do things at their own pace. Finally, we have the final Nen type, and probably the weirdest, which is specialists. And specialists can do unique and distinctive things that do not fall into any other Nen type. So something really cool about specialists, a little bonus fact, is that in some cases, people who were not originally specialists can become specialists later on in life. So an example of a specialist is Crollo with his ability to steal other Nen abilities. It's such an absurd ability, but it doesn't really fall into any proper Nen type, which makes Crollo a specialist. Another example of a specialist is Neon with her fortune-telling ability, which was also incredibly unique. So for the water divination test, specialists are described as being people who create any other changes to the water, cup, or leaf that do not fall under any other Nen type. Hisoka says that specialists are charismatic and independent people, which makes sense since independent people, they would want more unique abilities that don't fall under anything else. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and consider subscribing if you're down, because I'm trying to get monetized. Alright, thanks guys, and bye.